What we saw here was deeply, deeply disturbing. Not because the perpetrators were white, but specifically because they were black. What's up? It's your boy Central. I'm coming back at you with another news video, and man, this is just a travesty. Coming out of Memphis here, a black man basically beat to death for no other reason than him being black by other black men. It was disgusting, revolting watching this footage, man. And seeing him literally plead, beg for his life, similar to George Floyd. He asked for his mom, and you're like, man, this dude is gonna die. And he was within 100 yards of his house. Just makes it all the more tragic. I don't know if his family was home or not, but it just adds to the sense of despair that you feel. And I can see why protests have taken place nationwide across the U.S. Peaceful protests mostly. And why they're calling for reform out there in Memphis. And this is being held up as an example nationwide why things need to fucking change. So we're gonna look at some points and see, analyze a few things here. All right, number one, these pigs treated this innocent man like the guys they're programmed to take down to the streets. All they saw was another black man, aka a criminal, because they're fucking hardwired for it. I mean, they work in this gang unit, Scorpion, that's supposed to take down these dangerous criminals on the street, and they come across a black man who, on the surface, looks like the guys that they're profiling, they're denigrating, they're defiling on the daily, because they're not treating these guys with any sense of dignity or respect. They're just a number, a case, someone they have to bring down. And these guys, the worst, or they're into, the worst of these trades, drugs, women, illegal activities. And they happen to come across somebody who fits the description on the outside, but for all accounts, this guy's an upstanding guy, works hard, loves his family, a father to a young daughter, and is just out there, working for FedEx, trying to make money to take care of his people. And they let that override any sense, any shred of competency, sense of duty, morality. I mean, just like, what are you fucking doing? Holding this guy up against the car and beating him some more. Propping him up. He looked like a fucking corpse out there. Mercilessly beating this guy, tasing him when he ran. Because, yeah, you pepper sprayed him. Any normal human being's reaction when they're being attacked is to flee, fight or flight. And he chose to flee. He felt like his life was in danger, because it quite literally was. You proved that point. It's just disgusting. Why would you treat a human being like, I guarantee you, if this guy was white, or maybe even any other complexion, the respect they would have shown and given to him would have been the opposite. But there's something that just triggered them in that moment. They saw a black man, and all they could see was a thug. The guys that we chase after out there on the streets. How could you not differentiate this man? And he was actually calm when you pulled him over and you escalate the situation instead of de-escalation, which is a skill that unfortunately U.S. militarized forces are good at. All right, let's get to number 2, internalized racism. And people saying the first thing I was like, oh man, they're black. Ah, shit. But no, it makes sense. Just because you look like something on the outside, you look like a people on the outside, the inside could be completely different. I mean, I don't know the way these guys see themselves, but the way they act, at least, they act like supremacists in America. They operate with lighter man's complexions mentality. You feel like, you're not one of the people that you're hunting out there on the streets, and that would make sense to have that disassociation there. To be able to do what you do, you to some degree have to separate yourself, and for whatever reason they think that they're above these people that they whose community that they service, or it was supposed to be public servants, civil servants in, but yeah, like you don't like. I mean, like I just the markers. It could be like they don't. They hate the vernacular. They hate the way these guys talk. They hate just everything about them. Just just creating that separation there in your mind, and whatever it is, it's very it's deeply disturbing. And I know it's probably automatic thought patterns that probably they don't even realize themselves that they've had ingrained in them since a young age. And that's how America does you. Like, I dealt with this on a deep level, and realizing like, oh man, damn, I make excuses. I'm like, damn, why black people like it? Why are these just like this? And not seeing that this is not our natural environment. You put crabs in a bucket, and of course they're gonna fight to get out, try to get out and pull each other down to get to the top. They weren't born in a goddamn bucket. They were meant to swim freely out there at sea, to walk along the beach. Like it's crazy once you realize, like, you're looking at some lens of a fish being shamed because they can't climb a tree. That's not what a fish was made to do, you motherfucker. Are you kidding me? Like, so like these things that like they internalize, it becomes a natural part of their thought process to treat others that look like them like that, and without even batting an eye. All right, number 3. History links right back to the plantation with field versus house. I mean, like they've been granted, certain rights, able to have, sort of life of the power of life and death over people's lives, and able to exercise that at their discretion. Not necessarily by the rules, but at their fucking discretion. They came along, and it's a simple traffic stop, and it escalated to this from that when he was 100% completely innocent. What you doing out here, boy? You ain't got your papers at the master say. Like, I mean, you've been granted these rights by society, and we know who controls and the majority in society, who wields the most power, not on a small scale, but we're talking like countrywide, who holds the most power. Let's look at it. So yeah, it's playing that into that mentality, and you weaponize, you radicalize these guys and put them out there, and they go to, like, these guys are similar to black women that companies are looking to employ, that'll fight tooth and nail to defend the company's interest. That's why they make such good employees. Single black women or single mothers. It just is what it is. But number 4, black people have been policed in this country going back to the days of plantation life. I mean, yeah, police have always been a means of control for a black person and to an extent, colored people. Going out to California in the wild, wild west days of bringing in Asian immigrants, and then police would regularly crack down on them and, very corrupt. But yeah, that's just the way things went, the ways things were, and yeah, especially during Jim Crow. Like, I mean, just for inauspicious reasons, on a whim, a black person's life can be taken just like that, and no sense of justice, because the people that were patrolling and protecting the interest of white landowners look like them, and were fighting for their interests. So this is there's a deep seated mistrust there. That's why these communities have a lot of enmity with the police, because you've always been at odds with each other. So some deep seated hatred and a lack of trust, distrust there for one another, but especially for the people who are being policed, the oppressed. All right, number 5, cognitive dissonance due to the blue wall that allows these guys to feel that they transcend the race. I mean, you're protected by, like, what they say, they tell you sign up, you never portray this brotherhood. Blue lives matter. Like, it's not a life. It's an organization. And, one of the biggest criminal ones out there in America. Once you join that, you get the rights of protection, but you're sworn to silence, and you're sworn to act in the interest of your fellow officer, even when they're in the wrong. That's why you see so many officers just going along with what their partners are doing, what the people on the scene are doing, an officer in another district, another precinct is doing, because they remain solidarity. They remain that code, their brotherhood, that sisterhood. They step in line with each other. Because a step out of line would just mean isolation. And you go out on the calls, and somebody they're gonna cover you with backup, or they're gonna leave you isolated out there to die. So if you want protection, you better act accordingly. And that just is what it is. But these guys, they transition being just black, being black officers. They're officers out there who are protected above everything else. That came crashing down today. I mean, now they'll see it learned, because they, moving on to the next point. I'm not worried about conviction in this case. These officers were black. Justice was swift, with fast coursing action, and their punishment is all but a formality. So they're gonna be convicted and tried and sentenced. I have 100% faith in the justice system to punish these black faces. And I don't mean it in blackface, but this is a slam dunk win for a year-round Halloween ghosts and ghouls. They get to make scapegoats and say, hey, look, these here's only they killed it here. So you need to look within yourself, like, but who created this problem in the first place? Huh? Like, so. Yeah, man, like this wish we had never integrated. So we need our own communities, our own countries to go back to, and our own wealth and systems, because the system ain't broken. It's working just according to the way it was always supposed to.
Like, comment, share, subscribe if you
Thanks for watching. Check me out at Centron Anime, Centron Life, or Centron Laughs, or other social media.